flabbergasted, gobsmacked. We're going to start off with the news of the day that Jonathan Majors and Megan Good are married. There's some investigative journalist done from Kevin Frazier over at Entertainment Tonight.
She's just my girl, man. She's just my best friend. You know, my wife. You know, my fiance.
Oh,
That slip happened because,
why?
surprise, just after 11 o'clock this morning, Jonathan and Megan said, I do.
I
A source
do.
tells ET Jonathan's mother married the couple in a small private wedding at their home in LA. Megan's mom was the witness, and it was just the four of them.
If it was just the four of them and a source told ET, I wonder who that source is. How would this slip? It just happened today, huh? Just after 11. Who is the source? Was it her, him, or her? This is suspicious.
Them. The duo already had a bit of that newlywed glow last night at a special screening of his film.
She just motivates me so much. And she guides me, and I guide her. I think Megan and we do a good job of dealing with each other where we're at. You don't know anybody till you've been through all the seasons with them. Oh, you're on cloud 9.
Right.
It's all rolling in. You ain't got nothing. You're crying on the couch. She see me.
I actually don't like hearing about him crying on the couch. I don't like hearing him, what he said about when he was younger and how he got abused. I don't like hearing that stuff. I'm just saying, it's difficult to hear. You know, we don't want to know about things like that. So the wedding papers, the ink wasn't even dry yet. The Rolling Stone delivery of this audio, which wasn't like submitted into court or anything. There's no guarantee it wasn't doctored. There's only reason to believe that the audio was doctored or taken from out of context, in which, and I'll play it in a second, in which it sounds like he was just like, yeah, all that is under aggress. And then he kept on talking without admitting that I actually strangled a woman. There's a lot of doubt there. Anyways, it was dropped. The smear campaign and that hit piece was released before his wedding. That is levels of Vincent Kennedy McMahon, CM Punk. Show you what I mean. On the Art of Wrestling podcast, CM Punk vented that he was fired on his wedding day.
I would like to do this. I would like to apologize. Sometimes in a big corporation, the legal people don't necessarily know what talent relations are doing, and conversely.
Oh, is that what happened?
Punk got his severance papers, moreover, on the day he got married. And that was coincidence.
So that's some corporate level, you know what I mean? It was coincidence, that things happen. Nah, this is what they do. They wait for your happiest days. I thought it was like because of the week of his new movie. That's why that hit piece happened. They waited. Nah, you can't be married and happy. You kidding me? We're going to release this audio right now, right? We're going to make people think of you badly. Yeah. And it wasn't on the side of his ex. They've signed something where they can't talk about each other. Even as of right now, when Kevin Frazier asks Jonathan Majors later on in this interview, he's going to be like, no, I can't, no comment type thing.
In every spot, and I've seen her. And at every time, we always talk to each other,
Yeah.
Sometimes not. Sometimes we leave the room. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, you take a break, I'll take a break. Cool. You know what I mean? I don't got to be tough with her.
Jonathan and Megan got engaged in November, just 11 months after the former Marvel star was found guilty of assaulting his ex-girlfriend. While Jonathan has maintained his innocence, yesterday, Rolling Stone published an alleged conversation between Jonathan and his ex.
Let's hear it.
You strangled me and pushed me against the car.
All those things are under aggress.
Yeah.
How do you address this latest headline?
Give it to me.
I love you, brother.
Yeah.
I do love you, brother. I just can't speak to that. There's work to be done.
I don't like that edit. I love you, but I can't speak to that. Look at where his hands are, and then they're going to jump straight to there's work to be done. It sounds like they're splicing it up to sound like he admitted it. Now, I know that you want to splice and edit things out, like times where no one's talking. You want to cut that part out. People do it on YouTube, TikTok all the time. But it doesn't feel like the next thing he said after that was that I got work to be done.
I love you, brother.
Yeah.
I do love you, brother. I just can't speak to that. There's work to be done. And that's what I'm focused on now.
How have you worked on those things that from your past?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean, how have you worked on those things from your past, Kevin? Didn't he just get Let's pretend he did it. Let's pretend this guy's guilty. This guy has a history, everything. Let's just pretend, even though I don't believe these things and I'm skeptical of everything. Okay. And her ability to magnify, you strangled me, when really maybe his hand touched your neck. Who knows? All right. Anyways, pretend it all happens. Man's guilty. What do you want this guy to do? You know what? What I want him to do? First of all, people need to know. Okay. So it's got to be public. And he has to seek counseling. That's what he's got to do. And not just like one little session. This guy's got to go weekly, okay, for a year. That's what he's got to do. If that's what happened, though, like 52-week domestic violence intervention program that he's been doing, he's on week 50 something. He's near the ending of it. Then what? I feel like, let me verbalize this. The anger is unwarranted. No. Let me not say that. Because what if he did do it? Okay. What if he did do it? We're there. That audio is said to be from 2022. 3 years later, it's just holding grudges. We got CJH who says, "Are you now wondering if Dr. Doom just wipes out all of the Kang variants? Are you kidding me?" Well, who knows what Marvel will do with Jonathan Majors if they do anything. To me, it's over. I hate the way that they treated him. It's done. I heard a theory for Dr. Doom is doing what Reverse Flash did in the Flash TV show. Yeah, and I don't want to talk about that. I'd rather talk about Jonathan Majors. Ant-Man's post-credit scene was the biggest mistake Marvel did. Of course, day second, I turned off the heat when it's 18 degrees only for it to snow the next day. Thanks for sharing. I moved to DC. What is DC providing? So the latest news today is that Kevin Frazier, the friend of Jonathan Majors, I love you, but I can't say. I'm guessing they told him. Look, we got married earlier today. That's the source. There's only 4 people at that ceremony. That was the source. And I think that Rolling Stone had further, they knew about this and they used that against him. If I could show you, let's go to the person who wrote that article is the Caucasian Cheyenne White Tree. She's following Stephanie, following the account of the ex of JM. I wonder where that audio came out of. Suspicious. I think this is coordinated. I wasn't born last night. But let's go back. Let's go back to the wedding. Congratulations for them to get married like that. That's cool for them. Magazine Dreams is still out, and the effects of all of the trial nonsense will be felt at the box office. Magazine Dreams, will it make $10 million at the box office? Oh, that's pretty decent. Oh, that's cool. No, it's not something that a studio is going to be like, whoa, you can make $10 million if you sign Jonathan Majors. $20 million. Now we're in the range of successes. Films like Anora, how much did that movie make? Actually, they kept putting it back in the movie theaters over and over again. And then it got, after its nomination and after its victory, it got more movie screenings. That could happen with Magazine Dreams also. But when we're looking for a success, who knows if it grosses $100 million? We don't know that. Maybe all of this kerfuffle, all of the noise that this has made will make it so that people want to go and support him. How many people really saw that audio or heard the audio? Let me share the screen of the audio. It is not there. It's not Rolling Stone. It's the stream SoundCloud. So on the Rolling Stone SoundCloud a day ago, it has 120 views. No, it doesn't. I'm not familiar with this website. I don't know where it shows the views. There, 22,000. It says down there. There are 22,000 views for this audio. Are the 22,000, let's say everyone will listen to it twice. There's 10,000 people who listen to this. Are they of the, we got to support Jonathan? Is that 10,000 movie tickets that wouldn't have happened? Are people thinking what I'm thinking? How does the conversation just begin right here?
I'm ashamed. I never wrestled with a woman before.
What were they talking about before that? This is incredibly out of context. And he's being secretly recorded. If he knew he was being recorded, when she hits him with, "You strangled me," you think he's going to say, yeah, that's all under aggress? Or you think he's going to be like, "Oh, no, where's the microphone? No, I did not strangle you. What is she doing in this? This is only audio, not video. Is she holding up the phone? Is she, you strangled me, saying that on the microphone and then bringing it back closer to Jonathan Majors? Like only we heard it on the mic, but he didn't hear what she said? Was there a time skip? Did she say more than just strangled? So this part here.
Yeah, it's just a very aggressive.
Oh, I gotta draw attention to that. The way that these waves just increase because we hear like a paper shuffling. Imagine if this is just them reciting lines off a movie script. That'd be funny. Whose theory was that? It was either Pam or Blue who said that. It would be funny if we watch Magazine Dreams and then we hear these lines about I aggressed you in the movie.
Like,
He strangled me and pushed me against the
yeah,
car.
all those things are under aggress.
Yeah.
He's talking while she's talking. Did he even hear what she said? Like sometimes you
Yeah,
just
like that's never happened.
sorry. Sometimes
Aggressive.
pause. Sometimes you just hear someone's voice, but you're talking like I've streamed with people and I'm not listening to what they're saying because I'm talking at the same time. I'm filling in the blanks of what she said. Strangle, mangle, like what did he really agree to? I don't take this as like a formal admission of guilt of I strangled. I think he said all of that is classified as aggressed. Like I'm not in here trying to get into the nuance of what exactly I did or didn't do. That's not my goal right now. I'm too busy we're at the point of the discussion where you and me have to sit down and do the ending. The conflict is over, the immediate conflict, whatever it was. Let's get into solution mode. And because of that, that's why I'm just, all of that is under aggress. I'm not going to give it to you. I'm not saying I did that thing. I'm just saying all of that fits under the word aggressed. So listen now, after the aggressed situation, who knows what it was? After the aggressingness, and then let's talk more about that. How much of this video was spliced also? This wasn't something that was official. This is something that was sent to SoundCloud, not their website. This isn't on the Rolling Stone website. If it was, maybe Jonathan could sue them for defamation or they could be held liable for the information they're putting out. They threw it on a SoundCloud account, which if this gets sued to Waters, whatever, it's just our SoundCloud. We're Rolling Stone. We don't really need SoundCloud. So keep that also in mind. I'm going to keep playing this audio. And then I'm going to look at the comments from yesterday when I covered this.
I aggressed you. Like,
He strangled me and pushed me against the
yeah,
car.
all those things are under aggress.
She's talking while he's talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like that's never happened.
I keep doing that. I'm sorry. Let me rewind.
I aggressed you. Like,
He strangled me and pushed me against the
yeah,
car.
all those things are under
While she says, he strangled me and pushed me against the car, he's already answering and talking to her. I don't think he's agreeing with her retelling of the story that happened. Under her version and her reality, she was strangled and was pushed against the car. He's already talking while she's saying that stuff. He's already like in finish up mode.
I never wrestled with a woman before. Yeah, it's just I've never aggressed. I aggressed you. Like,
He strangled me and pushed me against the
yeah,
car.
all those things are under aggress.
Yeah.
You know, like that's never happened to me. So I'm
Because I said something sarcastically, if in your eyes.
clearly it's more than that.
Yeah.
Clearly that
Something inside of you.
yeah.
Look at her. She's trying to, oh my God, she's trying to create the motive. The motive is because of something. She's secretly recording this guy, trying to get the admission out of him because she knows about Cleopatra. She knows about his infidelity, or he has expressed on in a magazine, I think, that he's a single man or something like that. So she knows the meal ticket is coming to an end. So she's trying her best to interview this guy without him knowing and get some audio. And she makes the motive of it that you thought I was being sarcastic. That's why you did it, right? And trying to see if you'll agree to it. And then she said something else right towards the ending of it. That's why you said it. I think, hold on, listen to it.
I said something sarcastically, if in your eyes.
Clearly it's more than that.
Yeah.
Clearly that
Something inside of you.
She said, yeah, something inside of you. She said, yeah, to force an acknowledgement. Let me use my words right. When she said yeah after what she first did, what she was digging for an admission of what the motive is here.
Because I said something sarcastically, if in your eyes.
Clearly, it's more than that.
Yeah.
Clearly,
Something
He said clearly it's more than that. And she said, yeah. You see, guys? Yeah. You see, he admits to it. See, yeah. That's what the yeah was doing. It's pulling a lot. It was doing a lot of work for the person who's hearing this and wants to side with Stephanie. That's why she said, yeah. I'm not a conversation doctor or some sort of psychologist, but I know enough to know what she was trying with. Yeah.
inside.
it's more than that.
Because I said something sarcastically, if in your eyes.
Clearly, it's more than that.
Yeah.
Clearly,
Something
I said something sarcastically. And then she's like, oh no, I'm being recorded. It sounds in your eyes. It was something I did in your sarcastic in your eyes. So here she is creating that narrative in however long was the 30-second time clip. And we don't even know if this was taken from that part of a conversation, how authentic is it? Who is valid here? Like, I can't trust the words of Rolling Stone. Like they weren't already charged with something where they defamed somebody. Let me find it. It was where you at, Ty? Ty is the one who sent this. Ty. It was a defamation. Now, this is the part where if I was streaming with somebody, it would have gone so much more better. Because somebody could like talk in between and fill in the blanks. Play it one more time while I look.
side of you.
Yeah, towards you. I'm ashamed. I've never gone out. I never wrestled with a woman before. And it's just, I've never aggressed a woman. I aggressed you. Like,
You strangled me and pushed me against the
yeah,
car.
all those things are under aggress.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's never happened to me. So I
Because I said something sarcastically, if in your eyes.
clearly it's more than that.
Yeah.
Clearly,
Something inside of you.
yeah, towards you.
So basically, he's being secretly recorded, and it's
When you
important
sat
to
down in
note.
a coffee shop, you told him that Diddy
second.
did something to you.
Yes, because it started out, it was
Fuck's that?
just Diddy and when then Jay-Z came in.
You guys hear that?
But not from your mouth.
Yeah,
He asked you about Jay-Z.
yeah.
But Jay-Z
Anyways,
I'm ashamed. I've never.
let me get rid of that. So, apologize for the live stream difficulties here. What's up, Derry? What's up, Basco Scenario? Hello. The audio is sketchy, but also he uses SoundCloud. Who uses it? A website that doesn't want to put the audio file on their website and have to be accountable for the lawsuit coming their way. That's who does SoundCloud. It was Diddy because it was that because on the SoundCloud it was continuing with the next story that they put on SoundCloud. There's two options. There's Jonathan Majors did it and he's got a negative history. There's this was part of the campaign. He was being secretly recorded. You don't do that unless you're trying to make someone look bad. There's two options. I don't think he admitted to anything. I think he was looking. I think he was looking to quell her. Let me give you this. I won't give you that I strangled you, but I'll say all of that fits under aggressed. Yeah. And then he just wanted to jump over past it. I don't need to fill in the blanks. That's not what I do. It's not my intention to do so. And I actually hate that I'm talking about the morals again of somebody as if I don't like talking about morals at all. Like I usually don't. I did a Stan Lee coverage for members like Steve who can go check out the Stan Lee coverage about whether it's morally correct of what he was going through. And I did that on members, but I think about that. I think about not being the guy who's always here talking about what's right and what's wrong. The next thing I'm going to show you guys. Oh, let me talk on one thing. When he spoke with the Hollywood Reporter 3 days back, he was talking about his childhood. His mom is someone that he forgives because he went through it with one of the adults, the caregivers in their life. They didn't say it was his dad. And he's like, I forgive her, or she needs to know, but it's not like I'm blaming her for the way that she parented us. That's deep. And that's that's a heavy topic to talk about that I can't believe, and I don't want to believe is true. Actually, since I'm like the skeptical guy, I'm going, I hope he lied about that. I hope that was give me some sympathy. Mom, we're going to do this thing. I'm not going to say who the adult was, but we're going to do this thing where we all say that I was part of some sort of childhood traumatic, taken advantage of type thing. So here's Chill. And here's Chill's comment section. Let's go newest first. The newest comments first. Here we go. It's the age of AI, said someone. Andre Ware says, the Jabari tribe member came from the mountains to aggress Jonathan Majors. He was probably trying to help her with her drunken outbursts. Let Jonathan be great. I hear that. I don't think this is, legally speaking, she could have gave this months ago. She could have gave this to Cheyenne Whitetree a year ago. And now Cheyenne is putting it up on Rolling Stone. So he's been silent on it. I was speculating this yesterday. I don't think this anymore. But maybe his camp, Jonathan's camp, is talking to his ex's camp. And the lawyers are going like, how are we going to discuss this? Because we definitely have an agreement, a non-disclosure agreement of some sort, or non-disparagement. No one talks about anyone. We settled this thing. We're not going to court. We're good. Would they come with a joint statement like that audio was doctored? We're looking for the best. Jonathan continues to do work. Like, were there going to be a joint statement that they could both agree on to put out? It doesn't look like it. It looks like he's just gonna shrug it, and he was able to do that with Kevin Frazier, wasn't he? Kevin Frazier had no issues with just, okay, cool, yeah, you love me, all right. Now let's talk about this movie we're promoting. Dark Room Reviews. What's going on, Joel? The physical media lover. What's up, Zach Attacks? Member for 18 months. Appreciate the support, Zach. Zach, did you have a review up for Magazine Dreams? Do you think that Jonathan actually did something to her? No, because of her fabrications. Because of her laying lifeless. Andy's coming. But we found out during discovery of this trial, we found out that she's been text messaging her girl just a few minutes before she was supposedly, I need help. I think of her as a manipulator based off evidence I've seen. Lying about a finger injury, lying about a, what was the other thing that she said? The ear injury thing. So do I think? No. But I don't know. I don't know at all. I don't think any of this was staged. This is just bad publicity when your movie's coming out. I don't know that. Like, what if Jonathan Majors is someone who needs help, needed to do all of these classes, and his life was on a whirlwind? I don't know that. Just because he's with Megan Good right now, it doesn't mean that Megan Good isn't suffering through it. I don't know them that way. I doubt it heavily, but I just don't know. And I don't want to be the cheerleader of Jonathan Majors like that. I want to be the supporter of someone who's very talented, who can, with his talents, uplift melanated people across the world with the depictions. And I don't want that to come to this incredible resource, this influential talent or do good ability to go to waste. You can say that for the cause. I don't want a man to be lied on. And then when you bring in his skin color, it makes it even more so if you know the kind of content that I make and what I like focusing on. Ianu on Cartoon Network coming April 5th. If you know what I'm about, then you also know that's also being driven there. But if he did it, or if he has a rough history, if he not just did this, but he does everything, get better, then suffer the consequences. Fine. Steve gives 10 channel memberships. Oh, everyone who's got a channel membership is going to jump straight to the Static Shock, to the Anansi, to the breakdown I did, the In Canon documentary, where we chatted about great things such as the meeting between these two superheroes, where there was a big explosion, and effortlessly, Anansi just met Static, and he's going, Static, no! Dives on him and saves him from the big kabloom. You know, when two superheroes meet and sometimes they're fighting each other? Not this time. And not at Milestone. Anyways, coverage of this. It's available for members. Everyone else, all you peasants, you might get it. You might get it Thursday after I do Pantheon. Thank you for the memberships that you just gave. Hopefully, review comes out tomorrow for Magazine Dreams. Okay, I saw Sully Streams do his review, and Sully. Ooh, I'm not focused. And Sully was saying during his review, I don't care about none of that real life stuff. I can separate the actor from the act. At this point, they see that he's about to blow up again. So do you want to take him down? Of course, man. That is exactly the narrative. And just like CM Punk when he got married to AJ and Vince McMahon made sure that his papers came in that day, his severance papers. The same thing happened here. Oh, Cheyenne, who's following his ex, Cheyenne Whitetree, dropped that smear campaign the day before his wedding. You can't enjoy your wedding. Only I can enjoy my wedding. She's like, never mind, man. That was the last effort. I don't know how much more you can do with Jonathan Majors to try to slander him. I think the people have spoken. I'm gonna show you the Shade Room and how it was received there. Hold on. Shade Room just posted again, actually. Let me share that screen, okay? I'll stop reading my comments and I'll go to the Shade Room. Here. It says,
I remember her telling me I'd never been this happy before.
She's just my girl, man. She's just my best friend. My wife. My fiance.
That slip happened because, surprise, just after 11 o'clock this morning, Jonathan and Megan said, I do. A source tells ET Jonathan's mother married the couple in a small private wedding at their home in LA. Megan's mom was the witness, and it was just the four of them.
if it was just four of them, who was the source that told you, Kevin? It was probably Jonathan himself who told you that during this interview. Okay? You wanted a little positive spin. You wanted the Shade Room from 32 minutes ago to come out, and they tried.
The duo already had a bit of that newlywed glow last night at a special screening of his film.
She's just doing shit. What does that even mean? Okay, hear me out. Ain't the pastor engaged? I don't know. It feels like a competition, but then again, I don't know these damn folks, so congrats. Oh, it's talking about Devon Franklin. Yo, you guys are so nosy. Good for them. It's nobody's business but theirs. I'm praying for more black marriages. I wish them peace and prosperity. This is their business. Let them live. I beg your pardon. Congratulations, I think. Is that like I want to marry him instead? Is that why people are writing that? I'm blocking part of the screen. I'm so bad at this. No, not that view. That view. Someone said, I mean, Megan Majors or Megan Good Majors has a nice ring to it. Congratulations to them. Good for her. Good for them. They tried to tarnish his name again with the recording, and he's still out here living his best life. I wanted to see what people said to that. Only God has the last say, not social media. Yeah. So that was what happened today. But when they posted about it yesterday, everyone I saw was going, this audio is useless. It's pointless here. The people say, Shade Room is an op. How do we get back here? We've moved on from this. Look at this. Soon his career is getting revived. Here's the let's keep him down crowd. Look at this, bro. 10,000 people agree with that. 24,000 people agree with that. There's more people. No, there's not. 35,000 in total liked this post, but 24,000 liked this comment. I have never, ever heard a human say, I aggressed you. True. This is the first time I've seen aggressed used in a sentence. We all know he did it. 5,000 likes. We always knew he did it. 5,000 likes. But this wasn't about that day. Is someone going to say that? As soon as y'all get the chance to hate on Black Man, y'all take it. Okay. Let's add something to this picture. Under aggressed implies being the target of an attack or hostile action, meaning someone or something is being subjected to aggression or being attacked. Yeah. To what extent, though? He didn't agree that I strangled you. And if he was being strangled, I want to see the same person who's trying to make a case and secretly recording probably has a photo also, right? of the marks after such an extreme event. I didn't see that picture. I only heard a recording, which I believe could be doctored, which I know it's taken out of context because we didn't hear how the conversation started, how it ended. And I know she didn't just stop there. I want to hear what he said afterwards. Because what if he says, "Stop trying to say I strangled you," during that conversation? I lost my train of thought. I'm saying, it was off the Instagram post. I lost my train of thought though. It said, "Comments are so disgusting, especially from women." Oh, under aggressed. Yeah. Under aggressed means so much. And it doesn't mean exclusively the worst of the worst, which is what they're trying to find. You think Michael B will back his major support? No way. No way. I think his image is too damaged to be a major figure in our culture anymore. Black people don't get Brad Pitt second chances. Zach, does Jonathan Majors deserve a second chance, or should he still be on his first chance? I'm not there where I say he did everything, because I heard the driver say that it was not him. It was her doing it. I saw a video of every time he pushed her, she got back in his face. I saw, which was an altered video. Mind you, the car from the outside that they were in, we see it pull up to the red light, and then the time skip straight to where he's lifting her up on the street and pushing her. I don't know how it got there. They only showed us a version of events on purpose, and they edited it that way, where they trimmed out segments for context. They also slowed down the footage when she's chasing after him. You can tell by the way her hair just kind of floats, gravity defying, as if she's on the moon with less gravity, because they were slowing down the speed at which she chased him. She even said she wasn't chasing him, like she didn't want to admit that. So should he be on a second chance? I gotta believe he did something first, and I'm not willing to do that. Magazine Dreams is going to bomb because of Snow White and their recent tapes. Nah, Magazine Dreams, if anything, is going to benefit from Snow White, because a couple who's just like, what do we do this weekend? We go to the movies? Okay. Which one? People are going to go Magazine Dreams because Snow White's not that hot. What are they doing a strategic negative narrative push about Majors right when he's on the heels of a positive comeback? Yeah. It is vindictive as hell. There's only one person to blame for that, and that's the person who wrote the Rolling Stone article. Her name is Cheyenne Whitetree, who I learned earlier during the stream. I showed you. She is following Jonathan Majors' ex, a journalist who mysteriously obtained secret recordings, leaked audio, or we don't know where it's from, is following the ex. Whether he did it or not, at the moment, Rolling Stone is looking worse for sitting on this recording and choosing to release this months after the trial. Kinda, but some people don't really mind. Some people think like, well, the truth has to come out eventually. You see, you can't, they're not thinking of it that way. Shade Room commentators are obviously negative. It's a rare occurrence. That's Yale education. Yeah, aggressed, you see? Aggressed. It's not about Kang. I don't care about Kang. Magazine Dreams content doesn't help this case. Yeah. Sometimes you have to be aggressive to get away from the aggressor. 100%. What if he actually did strangle her? What if physically his arm was tight around her neck? What if that did happen? What if he was justified in doing so? Huh? He's not boxing her. He's not kicking her. He's not using a weapon on her. But to restrain her from the violent outbursts, which she is known to do, I saw on camera, he would have to do that maneuver on her. I can forgive that. I can encourage that. I can say, great move. That's much better than a strike. Throwing, wrestling her down is so much more like recoverable as a person who's being wrestled down than if I had to get boxed and then I had to, put an ice over it and do all that work. Both are forms of de-escalation. You see how we could justify someone, and he didn't even tell us in the interview, but you see how we can justify it? If he, and the way that they cut the interview, bro, if he is taking the route of, I've done it and I need help and I'm trying to get better, can you say that, please? Because I don't want to have to defend you or offer these opinions, these thought-provoking, hey, what if he really meant that or that? He probably can't talk about it because of the paperwork, that he has signed after the civil case. And then this is where we are. He's got 3 more days left until Magazine Dreams comes out. And is the career of Jonathan Majors going to go the way of someone we would love to continue being in our movies? Or is this a cement? Is this a nail in the coffin? Is this a successful effort to cancel Jonathan Majors, affect his way of making money? Is Spike Lee not going to use him in his movie? We're all going to find out in a couple of days. To the 25 viewers watching my live stream right now, we're all going to find out if you want to go and check out his movie or not. If you guys want to see so it's not related to work. It's not related to YouTube. But if check out his movie or don't. If you were swayed by what happened on there, because you do think he is someone who just admitted to strangulation, I can't tell you anything, bro. You're not gonna go support that guy's movie. Respect to you, man. Respect to your opinion. Respect to your critical thinking. Constantine Jr. says she recorded him. Wow. This is my comment section, by the way. She recorded him. Wow. If this isn't Black Man Wake Up Call, I don't know what is. I'm not against interracial relationships, but Black men and men of color, we need to be extra careful. I have to like that comment. And like he just said, I'm not against anyone getting with anyone else based off of people's looks. I really am not. When you're rich and when you have options, maybe try to steer away from dating a Caucasian woman or a woman. Listen to this. Don't be romantically involved with somebody who, if something goes sour, you will not have any benefit of the doubt, and you're at a disadvantage. Since you have options, there's plenty of fish in the sea. Go find a fish who doesn't have the power to do this. You can still get the benefits of. Doug went to Megan Good. He went to Megan Good, which is so bizarre, which is so crazy. Not bizarre. Megan Good. If there is anyone he could have dated after this in the world, who was available and not hooked up with anyone else, I can't think of a human being more high profile and more perfect than Megan Good, than Dr. Camille Parks herself. I hated Harlem. I hated how it ended. I liked the show, but how it ended was crazy. I was cheering for Portia. The USA Today article portrays a key moment. No, sorry, I missed one. Eon says, I've never wrestled with a woman. That says it all. Another toxic argument where they both got physical and he pushed her away from her neck. She went full Karen and Majors felt guilt on accountability towards her. I remember during the ABC interview, he says, I never struck a woman. I've never hit a woman. He was very explicit with that. Very particular with how he explained how he never struck a woman. Maybe he did wrestle her, which there's a difference between wrestling and striking. I know it could be all perceived as forms of aggression. All that is under aggression. I get that. They're all attacks to some people listening, but it's not. There's a nuance there. The general public will never accept him choking her to get away because of his size and skin color, unfortunately. General public? What do we mean when we say general public? What's going on, Pam? Pam was just streaming an hour ago about I don't know. I didn't click on it, but I know you were streaming. I'm sorry, Pam. If Connor can show up at the White House or Andrew Tate can be accepted by the elite, then Jonathan Majors can move on with his career. They are married now. They are. Reading my comment section. The USA Today article portrays a key moment in Jonathan Majors' life and career, highlighting his reflective, emotional, and honest approach to personal and professional topics. The title, You Wanted to Talk, So Let's Talk, suggests that Majors is willing to address his current situation with openness and depth. What kind of chat GPT answer was that? Big Knack says, I never effed with Rolling Stone magazine, and I see why. That magazine has a disdain and vendetta for black culture. As soon as a couple of films were announced and a couple of big names in Hollywood said they support him, they dug up some lame stuff. We already know. Hey, I'm going to show you something else. I'm going to show you the latest. Was it Vibe? This dude, I'm on Vibe's website, was seeing photos with David Oyelowo, Red Tails. And he was part of other movies, Interstellar. We got the Elijah Bynum, I think, is the director of this film right here. We got Mike O'Hearn, who's known in the bodybuilding community. Majors. Here he is seen with them. Here he is seen with Michael Jai White. I don't know who Jillian. Oh, probably his husband and wife, right? Yeah. So then we got that couple there. We got a whole slew of celebrities. Oh, he was Miguel on Passions. Jesse Metcalf. We got. Oh, look at me! I just got kissed by Megan Good. No one likes to show off. David. I think that's everybody. So he would basically have he's returned to his normal life of let me promote movies and stuff, and then here comes the past trying to get him down, to take him down. So what's the verdict show? You think he laid hands on her? No, I don't think he laid hands on her. I think she tried to get a quote out of him, and he didn't want to continue fighting, so he was just like, all of that is under aggress, just so he could talk about something else and move forward. He was solution oriented, and she was, let me record you to get something out of you. He never says I strangled you. He just says that's all under aggressed. I aggressed you. If that's enough though for someone like you, Fatal J, I can respect that take. I'm not that. I can respect everyone's take on this. As soon as a couple of films were announced and a couple of big names in Hollywood said they would support him and they dug up some lame stuff, we already know. As I said before, I understand the criticism directed at Jonathan Majors, but then many of us still believe this is the best casting for Kang and want him back. It's not the best casting for Kang. Kang is a white character. I can't wait for this fucking movie. That's all I care about, not the gossip. I respect that. Before I ignored what Alejandro said, the reason I told you Kang is a white character is because when we have these diversity initiatives and these pie graphs of we got to be this black for each movie or else we're doing racism, it's important for the black castings to actually further black characters. Professor Snape is being played by somebody black in this new Harry Potter. Well, during the play, Hermione was being played by somebody black during that. And maybe after this, well, they'll reboot Harry Potter for the third or fourth time, and it'll be somebody black being Harry himself. Swapping around, hot potatoing who gets to be the black character in the Harry Potter franchise does not make a black IP an intellectual property. Race swap casting allows to maintain the status quo of characters we're using while appearing to be progressive. I will never celebrate Jonathan Majors' Kang casting. While I would like for him to get jobs back and opportunity back and be back on top, I don't think of Jonathan Majors as the best Kang. Oh, he was good, best for the job. How can we deny that? I can easily deny that. Because now that movie, Avengers Kang Dynasty, now that he is the black representative on the screen, it means that the studio, based off their pie graphs, oh, well, we've done sufficient black representation. 10% of our movies black, or 15% of our movies black, like we committed to. No need to use authentically black characters to be popularized and elevated to the status of all our white characters. The next time we see Kang on a TV show, on a cartoon, it'll be a white guy, won't it? The next time we see Kang in a comic book, they're not going to just change the skin color of this comic book where the continuity still counts from the 60s, right? He'll be white again, won't he? Kang the Conqueror is a white IP. Him playing it, no matter how good we think he is, no matter how many videos you see here on this channel, I will never celebrate a race swap, and neither should you. And you should not be, Alejandro wrote that comment, you should not be disingenuous. He's the best for the job. Anyways, here comes Tracy Wills with $10. $10? What? Let me give you a video for that $10. Let's go. Oh, my favorite, Mercedes.
Money.
Oh.
Money.
The 4 belts. She says, congratulations, Jonathan and Megan. Eat your heart out, Stephanie and Cheyenne. Dog, they're fuming right now. They're fuming right now at this. I did say that, Pam. Thank you, Tracy, for that. And salute to Tracy, who I always see supporting Dre. Dre always does that morning show. One great thing about Dre Mac is that he is public knowledge. He works overnight. His only time he can actually do the show is when he's back from work, right before the kids go to school. He's got that little window, and he uses that time to do his morning show. It's not an appealing time. The best time to stream is now, 9 p.m. Eastern. That's the best time to stream. That's how I got 20 people in my live chat right now. He made a time slot for himself, and he's got his own audience. Sometimes I'm not awake, but Tracy is. Not saying you're wrong, bro, but when he said I aggressed you, maybe he thought he was being taped. That's creative thinking. We'll talk tomorrow, Fatal J. I'll be on your channel. Dana White slapped his wife on camera. Yes, he did, didn't he? It's nothing. Yeah, it's nothing. Back to reading some of yours. It says, as I said, I understand criticism directed at Jonathan Majors. I read that one. Why was this woman in this relationship? Look at your name, Jabari. He for the money and fame. If I'm not mistaken, you can hear him say, never happened. Okay. When did he say never happened? I didn't hear that at all.
Yeah, I'm ashamed. I've never wrestled with a woman before. Man, it's just.
So I didn't hear him say it never happened. I literally heard him say, I've never wrestled with a woman before, which implies, if this is not doctored, it implies that this day he wrestled a woman. But you heard him say he didn't do it?
I'm ashamed. I've never wrestled with a woman before. Man, it's just. I've never aggressed a woman. I aggressed you. Like,
You strangled me and pushed me against the
yeah,
car.
all those things are under aggress.
Yeah.
You know, like that's never happened to me. So
Because I said something sarcastically, if in your eyes.
clearly it's more than that.
Yeah.
Clearly that.
Something inside of you.
Yeah, towards you. I'm ashamed.
The only time I could possibly fathom is that he said he didn't do it, would have been here. Let me replay this section of it towards the ending.
I've never gone out.
Said something sarcastically, if in your eyes.
Clearly it's more than that.
Yeah.
Clearly that.
Something inside of you.
Yeah, towards you.
Clearly it's more than that. Clearly.
So you were.
Yeah. Yeah.
Clearly that.
Something inside of you.
Yeah, towards you.
I don't know. It sounds like from this, hands were put on somebody, hands were put on each other, and he did wrestle her, or he snatched her. He's like, first he said I didn't go after her, then he called it wrestled, and then he called it aggression. I honestly think like this could, if this is real, this isn't doctored, this is really what happened. There was commotion, there was conflict in that moment. He possibly physically involved himself with her, and because part of his body was over this, she stretched it into saying, I was being strangled. Okay, like, you know? And then Tracy's also saying that it doesn't sound like him. Yeah, what if it is fake? Because just because it's a file on the internet doesn't mean that it's truly him. Just because this wasn't submitted into court, this wasn't, like, who knows what this was? This, at least to my knowledge, it wasn't submitted into court. And if he knew that this was going to be used on him on the internet and knew he was being recorded, there's no way dude would even be talking. I don't like taking a moment where he's secretly being recorded and then using that against him. Like, no, look. I thought it was just me and her, and I didn't want to continue a big verbal back and forth arguing with her. So when she said that, I didn't say no. I just said all of that is under aggress. And she's known to lie and exaggerate. I can't continue saying that. I've seen her exaggerate. I covered that in the 10-minute video yesterday, which is where we're reading these comments from. Let's keep on going. It says, God, if I'm not mistaken, you can hear him say never happened. I didn't hear that. I'm going to say what timestamp. It says JK.Sanctum, fellow YouTuber, says, I can care less about the audio if about Rolling Stone cared about truth or justice. Why wait until he has another film dropping to release this? Why not release it during the year he was accused? Rolling Stone also releases it on SoundCloud of all platforms. Knowing people barely use that app, it's wild. That white woman knows how to use this manipulative tactic where she deliberately provokes or agitates Jonathan, then acts as if she's innocent or unaware when he reacts emotionally or aggressively, as we witnessed before. I wasn't there. I don't know. She could have been a victim of something, or she could be doing all this manipulative stuff. I believe it's manipulative stuff. But I don't have a video of it. I don't have her going to the club during this day, spending up his credit card. I don't have video of her injuries, and then also hours before the supposed injuries where she's perfectly fine. I don't have that for this day. I can talk to lengths of March 25, 2023, where nothing happened and Jonathan is completely innocent. I can put my credibility on that. I can vouch for him of that day. Spending his night on a different hotel room, everything he did. There's a reason why the police's body camera footage, they didn't have audio on it, so you guys can hear them trying to manufacture a strangulation charge. That was the first time we had strangulation. Oh, where's the video? I don't have the video anymore. I guess I deleted it from my StreamYard. Here it is. There, that video. She's on the ground, and he's over here putting his hand on his neck like that. Were you strangled? No, I guess not. So because this is the first time strangulation was on the was being accused, I'm just not gonna believe it the second time either. More comments from some of you. It doesn't sound like him. Dana White's protected. Yeah. All I'm saying is his crazy ass girlfriend is white. I'm just saying. I don't want to get into that completely, but we've said that enough. We've pointed out how he is at a disadvantage based on her skin tone when it comes to believability, based off of the work that the media has been training us, conditioning us to believe when it comes to dark-skinned people and light-skinned people, innocent people and guilty people. Who fills up jails? Who doesn't fill up jails, or who visibly isn't being presented in our media as the jail filler-uppers, unless it's a great show like Orange is the New Black. Even then, actually. But the main character... Anyways, Lawrence says, it's all bad for him. Public state of opinion plays a huge part. The only way to overcome this is to get away for a couple years and put out the best piece of work. What? He has been away for a couple of years. 2 years ago was Quantumania, and here comes the best piece of work, which is Magazine Dreams. What you're asking for, Lawrence, is happening. And whether or not Magazine Dreams succeeds is up to people like you, the customers. If it's playing in your town, check out Magazine Dreams. And make sure that all of this campaign, if you hate what Rolling Stone did, you're mad at Cheyenne and everyone else who's part of this campaign, and the cabal that they've got where they follow each other and pretend to be doing journalism. If that upsets you, you got the power. Pay for a movie ticket. Buy out a whole row like Dre is doing. Figure drawing, I don't want to engage in more of that. Damn chill, it could be AI. I didn't even think of that. Of course it could be. 100%. What's the credibility of Rolling Stone? Like, they haven't been sued for defamation before, for fabricating some sort of like article. So the audio is on SoundCloud, which is weird. The clip is only 20 seconds, and at least 10 seconds you can't understand what is being said because the audio is extremely noisy. Yeah, exactly. It's a whole bunch of this. I had to replay the clip several times to even hear the word strangle. I am still not sure if she's saying that word because now, no, she said it. I've been led to believe that it was said. Then we get into the cadence of the conversation. It is casual. There's no yelling. There's no cursing anymore out. There's no arguing. You're right, Dawn Horton. You're right. What were they going for? What were they talking about? How casually did you just bring up a strangulation? Like, it's very odd. Here comes Alejandro again, who says, it's important to clarify, verify, and analyze information before disseminating it. Based on what has been presented in Jonathan Major's case, no conclusive evidence against him has been confirmed so far, and his legal team has publicly refuted the allegations, not these ones. Furthermore, Rolling Stone or other reliable sources have not corroborated the existence of such audio. Before making judgments, it's essential to wait for the development of the case and the corresponding legal decision. Dude wrote that 22 hours ago. We fast forward to today, and we heard him on Entertainment Tonight. He's not going to talk about it. We're not getting any statements. I hope there would be an update like that. We got a different update. They're married. And that's probably why they tried to sabotage the marriage by making this news come out. Someone got news that Jonathan Majors was going to get married, and they're like, let's put this out on his wedding day. I don't care. I will still support him, but the media and some of the black community is not on his side right now. I just went on Shade Room, bro, and I think a lot are on his side. We can argue how many. He's supposed to be doing press runs for the movie, but I don't think it's a good idea to do interviews right now, which is why they dropped it. He should stay low because that interview he did with Good Morning America right after trial was a bad idea. You know, I agree with that it was a bad idea to do that interview. I totally agree with that. Because what did it do? And he only did one. He should talk to everybody. Now he can't talk at all because he signed something. Were we to learn that Jonathan Majors used steroids to get in better shape for his most recent films, and that they exacerbated some pre-existing anger issues, I would not be the least bit surprised. That's believable. Yeah, the method actor really went method and started wrestling down his girl on a car because she said something sarcastically. Nerdette says, I mean, he admits it. You already heard what I said during this stream, right? He didn't say I admit to strangling you. He said something else. He said,
I'm ashamed. I've never gone out. I never wrestled with a woman before. And it's just, I've never aggressed. Like,
He strangled me and pushed me against the car.
Yeah, all those things are under aggress.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's never happened to me. So
all of those things are under aggress. He did not say, I strangled you. And if if she's listening to this part, Nerdette's Newsstand, has got a YouTube channel, check it out. She said, he admits it. He doesn't actually. He offers her a non-combative, like, I know you're not going to fight me if I say this. If I say, yeah, all that is under aggression. Like, I'm not giving you that, but I'm giving you a response because I know that's what you're looking for. And I don't know you're secretly recording me, but he offered her like one of those so that we can get past this and move forward with our conversation. And like 6 people like the comment underneath from Johnny. Out of context, and that doesn't mean he admits it. They sound very calm and chill to be having a convo about strangulation. The audio sounds like it's been spliced and there's areas where conveniently it's muffled. It honestly sounds like they're reciting lines. There's no way as a woman I would be that nonchalant in an audio talking about strangulation. True. Fresh Film Sound, it says it sounded edited. Johnny Depp says, was recorded saying he had to bop his wife. But we're understanding with him, right? Ooh, does Royce know who Tristan is? That's funny. No, he doesn't admit it. He never uses the word strangled. Also, the audio was only 28 seconds long, which is very much a red flag that something isn't right. That makes sense to me, doesn't it? And then he says, she attacked him. Again, this was not about what happened on March 25. They're saying this audio was something she recorded from him in year 2022, before they had broken up. Pilot says first facts, and 3 people said we're going to thumbs that up. We are at the hour mark of my live stream, and I don't like going longer than an hour, baby. Entertainment Tonight is what started us, and Entertainment Tonight is what's going to end us. Let me find that interview one last time. Tracy Morgan vomits at an NBA game. Here.
I remember her telling me I'd never been this happy before.
She's just my girl, man. She's just my best friend. You know, my wife. You know, my fiance.
That's
What?
She's just my best friend. You know, my wife. You know, my fiance.
That slip happened because, surprise, just after 11 o'clock this morning, Jonathan and Megan said, "I do."
11 o'clock this morning, and this was on Thursday. This was this was on Tuesday, March 18th. This is today. At 11 o'clock, they get married. I think it was public knowledge. I think it was secret knowledge. The time of the wedding, Rolling Stone found out about it, and they're like, "Oh, what would ruin Jonathan's wedding day? What would ruin his film? We're definitely 100% gonna release this. Get him on his wedding day." Go ahead.
A source tells ET Jonathan's mother married the couple in a small private wedding at their home in LA. Megan's mom was the witness, and it was just the four of them. The duo already had a bit of that newlywed glow last night at a special screening of his film.
She just motivates me so much, and she guides me, and I guide her. I think Megan and I we do
So
a
much
good
affection.
job of dealing with each other where we're at. You don't know anybody till I've seen her,
Yeah.
Sometimes not. Sometimes we leave the room.
Yesterday, Rolling Stone published an alleged conversation between Jonathan and his ex.
I never aggressed a woman. I aggressed you. Like,
You strangled me and pushed me against the car.
all those things are under aggress.
Yeah.
How do you address this latest headline?
Okay. This played during this, and she's not talking, and he is not talking about this day on March 25, 2023. The editing here is a problem. You strangled me and pushed me against the car, and then they show him pushing against the car.
You strangled me and pushed me against the car.
They're not talking about this. This was not a post March 25 conversation. They've split since then. He's not been contacting with her since then.
Things are under aggress.
Yeah.
How do you address this latest headline?
I love you, brother.
Yeah.
I do love you, brother. I just can't speak to that.
That's why I think Kevin is the one who leaked about the wedding. I love you, right? Look at these guys. Look at the smile. Man, Kevin obtained the knowledge from one of the four people who were there who witnessed this wedding. Kevin, that was on you.
I do love you, brother. I just can't speak to that. There's work to be done.
What's up?
And that's what I'm focused on now.
How have you worked on those things that from your past?
Prayer.
Okay.
That's been a huge thing.
Aren't you going to say the 52 weeks of courses that you've taken? No? Just prayer? All right. And they, by the way, they keep editing. They keep going pictures of Kevin. Then they go back to him sitting down here. Then they go to Kevin. And then they cut to like a video of the police camera. They're doing a lot of edits to fill in. I hope it's just to fill in the dead space. They can make cuts. They can fit more of the interview on the show. I hope that's all they're doing here. But I don't like conversations being taken out of context. Respect me enough. Or post the unedited version on your online. Now, to make the TV slots, the half-hour entertainment team tonight weekly, it's precious time. Do your little cuts, but give me unedited eventually on the internet. Keep going.
Your past.
Prayer. That's been a huge thing. The mandatory. That's just that one. And then the voluntary therapy. That I've been in. And now I'm just finding ways to invest.
Mandatory therapy, voluntary therapy.
Change and shift and grow myself in a way.
The 35-year-old who received probation and was sentenced to a 52-week in-person batterers intervention program
Mandatory.
is now focused on magazine dreams. This was set to be Jonathan's Oscar-worthy performance before all the legal trouble happened.
I've been training for this every moment of my entire life.
In the drama in theaters Friday, Jonathan plays a troubled steroid-taking bodybuilder.
It is an award-winning performance, without a doubt. What were you doing to be in that shape?
I was eating about 6,000 calories a day. I was weight training 2 times a day and then a little cardio stretch and posing.
Yeah, it's an award-winning performance. Good luck. Good luck getting those awards. Thanks everyone for coming out. Thank you to Tracy. They could have her rehearsing for a part. Could you imagine if they're rehearsing for a part? And that crumple that we hear is just the paper that she's reading from. But then why didn't he respond to that? Or he can't respond to it, right? He made a little stupid settlement with the girl. Sucks. It is either effective or ineffective based off of the movie success.
I'm ashamed. I never wrestled with a woman before. Yeah, it's just I've never aggressed you. Like
You strangled me and pushed me against the car.
all those things are under aggress.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a paper right there.
That's never happened to me. So I'm
That could be paper crumpling.
I aggress you.
That could be paper crumpling, 100%.
Like
You strangled me and pushed me against the car.
all those things are under aggress.
Yeah.
And she could be exaggerating that he strangled her. I'm done defending that. Yes, you should smash the like button. Let that man grow, people. That comment sounds like you think he did actually indeed strangle her and you just want him to move forward. I mean, I'll entertain the options that he is a guy who's got mental issues or physical issues with women and actually does on a regular basis or even on a once basis does it. I can entertain that. I don't think that's the case though. I just want to make sure every time I entertain it and I go down that path, I always have to sandwich it with, by the way, I don't think this about him. Magazine Dreams is out in movie theaters now. Check it out. Fatal J, appreciate you being here. Caliber Ty, Fresh Film Fan, Figure Drawing, Zack Attack, Zangbeto, Steve, Bear Boy, you too. Appreciate you guys. Chill out.